Hello and good evening. Welcome to the Go Mode Podcast 2025 Mentor Tournament. This is game one of round two of the Master Sword bracket between the top seed KwehstopherWarken against the 9 seed Dr.Jon. My name is Scanlor. Hello and good evening again. So this is, like I said, game one of this round two bracket match. Mode is casual boots. So we're going to start with boots, we're going to start with a sword, and we're going to start by rescuing Zelda. Hopefully everybody out there is having a good night. I want to thank Centroid41 for doing the tracking for us tonight. And Furious Prince for putting on the restream. So give those guys a follow as well as our runners. And it looks like we're off to check out the escape. Just 20 rupees in the first chest at Link's house. Let's see, we've got Dark Link sprite from Dr.Jon and the Chocobo sprite from KwehstopherWarken, which seems fitting given his name. We've got 10 arrows there from the uncle. And a glove in the other chest. Early glove is good. One of the 3 items you need to get through or get to the Dark World. Always nice to get it early. And I like Dr.Jon picking up the pots to get some small magic refill, just in case you do find an item like a fire rod that'll help with ball and chain guard. Kwehstopher did not pick it up, but as he doesn't have any items for magic that need magic, it's probably fine. Nice setup on the guard kill from Dr.Jon there. Yeah, so KwehstopherWarken, as the top seed in this bracket, did have a bye last week. And Dr.Jon ended up winning his match against Papa Schland 2-0, so he won both games. And just a red rupee there in the chest with the guard. Kwehstopher going to be following right behind, and we'll see how they attack the ball and chain guard. So a bomb drop there from the green guard. Not as important in casual boots, since you can just bonk the wall open in the back of escape, but still good to have. Because you will need bombs to get through and fully clear Kakariko Village, which is generally the next spot you'll go after finishing the escape sequence. Yeah, we saw Dr.Jon use 2 pots to kill the ball and chain guard. Kwehstopher going to do a pot and 4 slashes. And we get our small key for the back of escape. Checking out the chat. Best username ever. I agree. That I enjoy. I'm assuming you're talking about KwehstopherWarken. I do enjoy that name. Big Final Fantasy fan, so definitely caught my eye and ear. You see Dr.Jon making his way to the throne. Gonna push that from the left. And now into the back. Warken gonna be following right behind. Get the book out of Dark Cross. Interesting early find, the book. That'll give us access to Desert Palace right off the jump. Yep, don't forget that key. There you go. Yeah, Morgan's gonna get his book right here. So it looks like Jon's gonna have a little bit of a lead coming out of the escape. Looking like a 520 escape for Dr. Jon. Alright, we got some bombs, so he should be good to at least clear out Kakariko. And I missed the Cane of Samaria on Jon's end, but we saw it with Kwehstopher there. Definitely a good find. We did see a map check on Jon's side. I unfortunately missed the dungeon layout. Hopefully Centroid was paying closer attention than I was. It looks like there is a pendant in Tower of Hera, if I'm looking at the trackers correctly. Nice dash line there from Dr. Jon through the Lost Woods. And with the book, you could see a pedestal check. We see Dr. Jon heading into Blind's hut. As Kwehstopher drops down and gets 20 rupees. And we've got the cape in Blind's hut on Jon's side. Thank you, Centroid, for putting the crystal pendant dungeon layouts in the chat. Appreciate it. So Kwehstopher is going to grab his cape here. Jon checks out the well in Kakariko Village. It looks to be a fire rod in the well. That's a good find. So the seed's given us a few items early. Few good items. Cane of Samaria, the glove, fire rod. You'll probably see both runners do everything they can in Kakariko, head south to check out the race game in the library. Ooh, and that's a hammer in the back of the tavern, so now we're one item away from pretty early Dark World access. Just looking for that Moon Pearl now. So we'll see Dr. Jon check out the race game. And that's just some bombs, so he's going to save and quit. Now, where is he going to go? Looks like he's going to go south toward the dam. And then with that early book, it is possible that we could see them go west toward desert. Or it's possible we could see them go east towards Mini Maldorn Cave. There's some more money there on Jon's side. Looks like he is going to go west following that book to Desert Palace. We see Questopher checking out the dam area. Dr. Jon is in Desert Palace, which is a completable crystal dungeon. So it makes a ton of sense to head over there. Let's see if Questopher follows suit. It looks like he is. Big key pickup from Dr. Jon. It looks like Questopher is going to check out Agina's cave first before heading into desert. We have a second shield. And just a single arrow in the big chest of desert. Yes, we are going to see Questopher head into desert. I am guessing that both runners are going to pick up that bottle. So that the next time they get back to Kakariko Village, they can turn it into the sick kid and get another item. So you see Dr. Jon going to check that out now. He is off to the back of desert while Questopher is just entering the front. Nice use of the spin slash from Questopher. This is not necessarily the easiest of Moldorm fights. I mean, you've got Fire Rod, a couple of shots. You've got the hammer. You can maybe use some Samaria strats potentially, but this is not necessarily the easiest of fights. So we'll see how Jon, both our runners, we'll see how they do. Three for three on Fire Rod shots. Then he's going to switch to hammer. Makes sense. And it looks like just going to go with spins. And now bomb strats. Jon's got to be a little careful here, only on one heart. But he knocks down the last land mola. And our second item is a pack of bombs. So well done on that fight. Like I said, not necessarily the easiest fight with the setup that he has. But he got it done. Maybe an unintentional damage boost on Kwehstopher's side to get him through the rest of that room a little faster. We'll see how Kwehstopher handles this fight with no magic for Fire Rod shots. Looks like he is bringing out the hammer as Jon gets the second shield out of Aegina's Cave and is going to save and quit. Jon is going to head down to guessing mini Moldorm Cave, potentially Ice Rock Cave. Kwehstopher has one land mola down, 2 to go. Doing pretty good work with that hammer, though. 2 down, 1 to go. As Jon gets through mini Moldorm Cave, combination of swords and bombs, and he finds our third shield. The money. Pretty useful hook shot and more money. Just missed that hammer shot, which I think would have ended the fight. Yep. So Kwehstopher through that fight as well. He's going to pick up his first crystal, so they are knotted up at a crystal apiece. Yep, Trinex put in chat. Fighter sword spins do the same damage as slashes on the land molas. Kwehstopher is going to walk out of here and probably head to Mini Moldorm Cave. Might have been faster to save and quit. I'm not sure. I haven't timed this particular thing. As Dr.Jon sets up a water walk, check out some of the out-of-logic flippers checks. Let me see. I think that was just bombs on the floating island. Oh, not the floating island. Lake Hylia Island. And Waterfall Cave. Nothing of note. Jon is going to check out at least Zora's Ledge with bombs. And they do have enough money to check what the scam fish is going to have for us tonight. It's a bloomerang, which John is going to pick up, which makes sense. You spent all that money for it. You might as well. Haiku in chat. Don't think I've seen a lot of Dr.Jon in races. I know he's done a couple of pickup races in the last few nights because I've been in a few with him. Not sure what time zone they're in, but I'm guessing somewhere Western US, just given the time that I've seen him racing. It looks like we are going to. Dr.Jon going up to Death Mountain in the dark. As we see Questopher setting up for and getting fake flippers. It didn't set up the water walk, but still going to get those flippers checks done. Although I don't think he'll be able to get the waterfall cave, which won't hurt him because we know there was nothing there, as Old Man is a currently out of logic red meringue. So both boomerangs on Dr.Jon's side. He did get through that dark mountain climb with no issues. It's definitely a dark room I recommend learning. Also because I think it's one of the easier dark rooms to learn, particularly with a sword. As we see just some money up on Spec Rock, and inside Spec Rock, just some arrows. Warken actually looks like he's going to head towards Sahasrahla and Eastern Palace. So we get a little bit of route divergence here. Questopher kind of staying inside the logic, and John decided to break it a little bit, but with hammer and hookshot, it makes sense. You can get over to Tower of Hera. You can check the east side of Death Mountain. And we got a lamp and a bottle out of Sahasrahla's back room. So for us, that puts Death Mountain into logic, but John doesn't know that. All right, and it looks like Questopher is going to save and quit, potentially heading up to Death Mountain himself. Yep, and then they save quit from his house. I think he meant to go to Sank. And I didn't see anything of note in Paradox Cave. Pretty good bomb jump set up there from Dr.Jon. Yeah, and it looks like Questopher is going to follow that lamp up to Death Mountain. Don't disagree with putting off the Eastern Palace play until you can get a bow. Potentially trying to combo that with Palace of Darkness later if you get a mirror. Thank you in chat. I did miss the Pearl and Paradox. That is definitely an important item. I'm guessing it was in the bottom because I think I saw 5 items on the top. It looks like John is going to go into Tower of Hera, which is a pendant. There are 2 items there and fairly easy and quick to clear. And that's 1 item right there. And it looks like they are going to continue the climb. Trying to set up for Herapot. And gets a first try. Well done. Yep, there's the Moon Pearl I missed the first time. Ooh, and John taking a hit. He's going to drop down a floor. I wonder if we'll see a bomb jump from Jon to get back to that big chest, or if he does it the vanilla way. It's like we are. Oh, never mind. We can hook shot. Oh no. Falls again. Quest for also falling, missing the bomb jump out of Paradox Cave. Jon gets the small key, which he didn't want to see, out of the big chest. And with that setup, if I'm trying to hook shot over to that chest, I wait until I see the sphere go across the big chest, and then I will hook shot, just in case. It's a little bit slower, but it kind of saves me from taking too many falls. Yeah, see hammer strats on Moldorm from Dr.Jon. The Troll Dorm goes down. And the second item. So we'll see if Kwehstopher continues. It looks like he's going to continue and finish up Tower of Hera. As Dr.Jon heads over to Paradox Cave. Spiral Cave. We already did Paradox Cave. Just for some bombs, and I'm guessing that Jon is going to head to the Dark World at this point. Question is where? Well, they're starting at Sanctuary. So it looks like they're going to check out the Village of Outcasts first. Yep, smart. Smart. Jon is remembering to turn in that bottle first before heading to the Dark World. And he gets a sword for it. So Master Sword now on Dr.Jon's side is going to help for definitely the rest of the game, but particularly this first foray into the Dark World. Ooh, and Kwehstopher taking a fall on the troll. All right, we are going to see a ped check on Dr.Jon's side. We'll know right now. Just couch cash. The dream is dead. Oh, quest for falling 2 floors. This Troll Dorm is not playing around on Kwehstopher's side. See if we see a map check on Jon's side for Dark World Crystals. Yep, there we go. So it looks like Pendant, Pendant TR, and I saw a red crystal in Skull Woods. I think Ice Palace was a red crystal as well. I think I caught on the second map check. Kwehstopher also finishing up Tower of Hera, getting a piece of heart from the Troll Dorm. Yeah, They're also going to save and quit. And I didn't see if Questopher ended up checking Spiral Cave before they did Hera. So it's possible that they will leave that item behind, but have to come up here eventually, most likely. So if you can do it with the mirror, you can kind of check it when you check the rest of Dark Death Mountain. We see Dr.Jon into Thieves Town. There's another pendant dungeon. It's a little bit of an interesting play considering Skull Woods is a red crystal, and you have everything you need to beat it. But on 7 hearts, it's not the easiest fight. That moth can be a little bit trolly, so I get it. Try to get a little more offense or maybe some extra hearts before you head in there. Yep, and so it's Green Pendant, Thieves Town. So Green Pendant, Thieves Town, Red Crystal, Ice, and Skull Woods. And our other pendant is Turtle Rock. So far, we've seen both runners basically follow the same path. Not too much route divergence. Been Jon slightly ahead, but they've basically done the same things. Looks like Questopher did not turn in that bottle first, so he is still on Fighter's Sword. Yeah, and we see Questopher also into Green Pendant Thieves Town. Bombos, which I missed originally, was in the first 4 Thieves. Thing to know, if you do have the hook shot, you can hook onto the doors when you go to pick up blind before you unlock them. Doesn't help if the guards get in the way, but just something to know. If it is clear, you can hook your way to it and get through it a little bit faster. You've got a map out of the big chest on Jon's side. We get to see Dr.Jon fight blind. 7.5 hearts. He does have the cape. A little bit off script with that spin after on the start of phase 2. We are going to see the cape. One more hit, I believe. And there it is. Blind is down. I think Bombos was the only unique item in Thieves Town. Could be useful, though. if we need to get into TR for any reason, or it could be useful to get into Misery Mire. Is required. Questopher needs to be a little bit careful. They're on half a heart. Yeah, Haiku, good point in chat. Green Pendant could also be something. You see just a piece of heart up on Bumper Ledge. And Jon is going to head into Skull Woods. So with Skull Woods being a pendant, a crystal, there is the option to just go right to Moth and clear back to front. Jon electing to clear it front to back. We can see a bomb jump here to get to the big chest. Well done. Oh, and then he gets bumped by the mini Maldorm. But as he had already gotten the chest, it's fine. He was going to go back anyways. One item out of the front of Skull Woods. I think this has to be a small key. Just given the dungeon, the way it was laid out. Like, yep, Jon was just waiting for the hand to grab him. And we see Questopher on going into phase 2 of his blind fight. Also with the cape out, makes sense. And Smart grabbing the wall to try to preserve a little bit of magic. Needs to be a little bit careful here. Oh no! That is a super unfortunate death to blind. And I think we saw half magic as the second item in Skull Woods. Yeah, Furious Prince in chat. I agree. I don't know why Jon wouldn't have just completed Skull Woods, particularly when it's a red crystal. And Questopher going to leave Skull Woods alone for now and check out some of these southern checks. And he gets an ice rod off of Stumpy. Potentially not needed, hopefully not needed for the sake of these runners. Since Turtle Rock is a pendant, but... And I think that might have been the first time I saw anybody check the stun prize, and it is a full magic decanter, so that's a good find. Particularly for Questopher, who did not have magic. All right, so we are going to see Eastern Palace on Jon's side and Hype Cave on Questopher. We see Titan's Mitts in Hype Cave, so it is a Hype Cave tonight. So that's going to help Questopher with routing. Hype status strong, I agree. Questopher heading back toward the Village of Outcasts, maybe looking to do hammer pegs and grab the smith. That's what it looks like. He just grabbed the smith. Yep. Good clear of the Stalfos room in Eastern by Jon. And nice hammer dashing by Mr. Warken. Yep, they're going to pick up that heart that's in hammer pegs. Come back and turn in the smith. Hopefully they remember to also check Sick Kid to get their Master Sword. Yep, but they're going to check King's Tomb first. I like that play. That makes sense. King's Tomb only a cent, though. We saw Vanilla Big Key in Eastern Palace. And that is as far as Jon can go without the bow. So they will have to come back. I don't remember seeing anything of note in Eastern Palace, but I'm sure chat will correct me if I'm wrong. Christopher is remembering to turn in the bottle at Sick Kid. So he's going to get his Master Sword. Jon is going to get his mitts out of Hype Cave. We get to see what the Smith will give us for returning his brother. $50 reward. Not awful. It looks like Jon is actually going to do the same routing that Kwehstopher did. It looks like they're going back, although they haven't checked the south route, so it makes a little more sense on Jon's part, in my opinion. They can check Stumpy, get the iced rod. As we see, Kwehstopher is going to go up into Skull Woods. Apparently feeling a little better with the Master Sword as opposed to the Fighter's Sword, which makes sense. Look at they are going to head toward the back. Yeah, question in chat, would you do ice? It's beatable. Logically, no. You still need the flippers, but with fake flippers, you've got everything you need to do it. I would probably hold off, at least for now. Particularly with Skull Woods there. I mean, you can still do some checks on Dark Death Mountain if you want to go back up. So I would hold off on Ice Round. There's still Pod as well, which is not necessarily beatable. Unless you find a bow. Also possible your bow locked out of Pod. Kwehstopher is going to the back of Skull Woods before doing the front. That's probably the way I would do it, especially with it being a red crystal. As was pointed out in chat, you do have half magic. You've got a mail upgrade. You have Cape, Fire Rod. Patrick17 in chat. You do, I'm guessing it's Ice Palace before doing Mirrorless Smith Chain. There's definitely some logic to it, even though you're kind of doing it out of logic. It's a pretty good fight, pretty good moth fight on Questopher's side. Just gives us the compass. That is going to be another crystal. So that's going to give Questopher 2 crystals to, I believe, just 1 on Dr. Jon's side. It looks like Jon is going to check out Dark Death Mountain. Yeah, I mean, if Bombos is required for TR entrance, it is definitely beatable. We have Questopher cleaning up the front of Skull Woods, which I think was, I want to say 20 rupees. Oh, interesting way to get to the big chest there. Kind of like that hook shot strat. Jon getting double dead rocked. Question in chat, neither checked Hera basement. Correct. I believe they got both items without having to check the basement. If I'm wrong, please somebody let me know, but I think they got 2 items out of Hera. TR is Bombo, so it is a clearable pendant TR, which would be the 3rd pendant dungeon that Jon has gone into. It just opened it and left. I don't disagree with that. You check these checks first. Yeah, definitely want to check Hookshot Cave and probably Super Bunny Cave as well before you go into TR. See if you can get something that'll open up a different dungeon. You find powder in Hookshot Cave. The magic powder does open up another check. Looks like Questopher is going to grab that purple chest. Turn that in. Super Bunny Cave gives us a flute. That is a good find. That flute should give us access to the Mire area and potentially Misery Mire if it's a double Bombo seed. And it looks like Jon is going to go into Pendant TR. This is an interesting call. I don't hate it because there are 5 items potentially you can get. Well, not potentially, you can get them. But this would give him all 3 pendant dungeons. And it looks like Questopher is going to follow and check out Dark Death Mountain, so he is going to get his flute pretty soon. Rabbit Wombat in chat. There's always a bow in TR. That's fair. I've also found flippers a decent amount of time in Turtle Rock. So far, just a big key and a couple of smalls. Ped was checked. It was Couch Cash. to answer the question in chat. I forget which of the runners did it, but at least one of them checked that. We know it's nothing. And Questopher also going to open TR. I wonder, finding the flute, if that changes his thinking of potentially going into TR. Because it might change mine. Since we know that Meyer is necessary, I would probably leave TR and go to Meyer to see what medallion we need. But that's just me. There's definitely nothing wrong with checking. Like I said, there's 5 items in this dungeon. So definitely worth a check. It just takes a long time to get them. Because with that powder, if you do turn in that flute, you can check Magic Bat and activate the flute at the same time. And it looks like, was that a mirror in TR at the big chest or lava chest? I'm sorry, big key chest. So excellent call. I would have been wrong to leave TR. Yeah, good point by Rabbit Wombat in chat. Without the mirror, it would have been, you would have had to come back to check Mimic Cave potentially, but with that mirror in TR, you can check it right now. And it looks like Questopher also going to TR, so they are hopefully going to get that mirror. So excellent call by both runners. This is going to work out for both of them. Yeah, see Hammer Strats in Mimic Cave on Jon's side, which gives us a piece of heart. Question in chat: if you're flippers for Go Mode, would you Go Mode Ice Palace? I mean, you would. I mean, you know the flippers can't be there, so I don't think it makes a lot of, at least I don't think it makes a ton of sense to do it at this point. But you are still looking for a bow. You're potentially still looking for a medallion to enter Meyer. Shield. Don't need to worry too much about laser skips, although that's a pretty good skip on Jon's side there. There's the small key. So I haven't been counting items in TR. I'm not sure if there is an item on the boss, but we're going to finish it anyway. Christopher again needs to be careful on one heart. As we see Jon heading towards Trinex. All right, well done, Questopher, grabbing powder and hitting an anti-fairy. Hopefully we see Questopher go get that mirror. mean, you're still looking for at least a few items. It's probably not something you're going to skip. Yep, he got his mirror. Jon having a little trouble with the ice head. Thought he might have gone with hammer strats, but knocks down the ice head. So now we are on phase 3. Well, I guess phase 2 of Trinex's third head. Looks like he's got the cape out. He's going to go with Master Sword spins. They do the same damage as the hammer. And Trinex is down. There was an item on Trinex, but it was just 20 rupees. So that is all 3 pendant dungeons completed for Dr. Jon. So their next stop should be probably going to activate that flute, although it looks like they are going to check potentially Spike Cave. But after this, I would imagine you're going to activate that flute, and I would be going right to Mire. You want to know if you're just bow away for go mode, or if you need to find a medallion as well. Yeah, we are going to see Spike Cave on Jon's side. Makes sense. You're already up here. You might as well do it. Oh, thank you, Wombat. You do also still need flippers. So you're minimum 2 items away. Just a piece of heart. In Spike Cave. Yeah, you're going to activate that flute. Probably, hopefully, remember to check Magic Bat while you're here as well. And then I would be fluting directly to 6 and checking out the Mire area. You could potentially also flute to 2, maybe grab a potion or 2 if you are considering going into Mire. With half magic, might not be totally necessary. But with a couple of bottles, not the worst idea. Like Jon is going to go, I think, back into Skull Woods and clear that. Oh, he never did hammer pegs. Okay. Or purple. Is it purple chest? Where are you going, Jon? Ooh. Dr.Warken taking a death. They did use the back exit. So they don't have to traverse the whole dungeon again, which is nice. Like Jon is going to walk the purple chest down to turn it in. Also going to check K45 while he's here. We see Questopher also Master Sword Trinex. Gonna use Hammer. See Jon leaving the purple chest behind. And use the minor glitch. Turn in that chest, and that way he can dash all the way through. Probably check Bombo's tablet along the way. See Questopher taking a death on Master Sword Trinex. Not the easiest fight. Jon, yep, gonna flute the mire. We're gonna know if we need a third item for go mode or if we're just down to 2. It looked like ether. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I do not believe it was Bombos. Like Questopher is forgoing hammer strats. I'm just gonna use Master Sword slashes. A little slower, but saves you from having a menu. So I get it. Checkerboard cave, just a piece of heart. Jon is going to buy a couple of potions as Questopher is on third head of Trinex. Gotta be careful here. Even with Blue Mail, I think he's only 1 hit away. But Trinex goes down. Nicely done, Questopher. As we see Jon, looks like he's going to check out Pod. Questopher looks like he is also going to check Bike Cave. Yeah, and good job remembering to turn in that green pendant, get you red mail. Okay, Questopher's going to check Spiral Cave. So good job on his part remembering that he hadn't checked that. And yes, bow in first pod chest. That's definitely what Jon is hoping for. I ran a seed recently that actually did have that. So it definitely can happen. Alternative is you find a small key and find a bow later on in the dungeon. That's still not bad, but yeah, it looks like a small key. That is a good question, Furious. I don't know. I didn't know if they checked it or not. It would have made sense since they did Eastern after after beating Thiefstown, but looks like we might see a attempt at a potion glitch to get through on Jon's side. Yep, and it looks like got through. Well done. So we're going to sequence break these two right side chests here. Looks like Kwehstopher is going to go for blind to get that green pendant, which means he's probably going to head over toward Pod Eastern next. Yeah, I thought I saw the big key on that right side. So Chad is correct. The big key is bow locked. Get a mushroom in the big key chest of Pod. That should be pretty easy to turn in with the flute. We see Kwehstopher take down blind, get his green pendant. And I would imagine the next place he's going to go is over to turn in that green pendant. Possible he goes to turn in to check Ped, though, with all three. Yep, looks like that's where he's heading. So that makes sense. I mean, we know it's nothing, but I don't think he does. I think Jon was the one that checked it. We're going to see a blind pull on Kwehstopher's side. I respect that. Even with the book, you've got all three. You might as well. And I couldn't tell if that was 20 or 50 rupees. $50, thank you. All right, we get a sword in the Pod Dark Maze on the top. That's Tempered Sword now for Dr.Jon. And no bow and Pod, so Jon's going to have to look elsewhere. Looks like Kwehstopher might be going to check Graveyard Ledge, which has not been checked by either runner. Yep, bow could be on Mushroom. Bow could be on Graveyard Ledge. I don't think the runner has checked Period or Catfish, which I think is what Jon is going to do now. Ledge, it's not quick. I think it was just 20 rupees. So nothing of note on the Pyramid Ledge. Where is Kwehstopher gonna go? Over to Meyer. Makes sense. Haiku, that is possible. We could see Jon go over to the Graveyard Ledge after checking these. We get a bottle for the mushroom, so no bow there. We're running out of places to find some progression here. To answer the question in chat, yes, John did use the potion glitch, and there is ether on catfish. I'm guessing John will check Graveyard Ledge, and then I think Prince. I think he wants to check Graveyard Ledge potentially, and then I think he's going to flute and go over to Meyer. All right, we see Christopher also remember to turn in that green pendant, get his red mail. But I kind of like this play from John because I don't know when else you kind of orphan this check if you leave it now. You've already done everything else up here. You'd have to make a special trip to come up here just for that one check. But now he is going into Misery Mire. So we are looking for the bow. We are looking for the flippers. Question in chat, does John know Spooky? I don't know. I'm not sure if John knows the Spooky action glitch. We'll see if Questopher also uses the potion glitch to get to that right side. Looks like they're heading right to the back. Yeah, Spooky action is not as hard as I thought it was before I knew how to do it. To Rabbit Wombat's point in chat, it just takes some remembering which actions and items break Spooky action. Admittedly, I'm not the greatest at it, but I think it's a boomerang, Cane of Burna, and powder, I think, are the things you want to avoid. All right, so Questopher did grab that. Tempered sword. See a big key pickup there from Dr.Jon and Misery Mire. And there's our bow. Bow and Mire. So that's going to put Eastern and Pod bosses on the menu for Dr.Jon. And I don't think Questopher did the right side of Pods. It's actually going to save him a little bit of time, at least at this point. But they are going to go into Eastern. And yeah, I think John is flippers for go. But I think at this point, John's going to do... He's going to finish Meyer and then go right over to Pod Eastern. Yeah, and it looks like John does know spooky action. He got the first switch. This is the hardest one, and John made it look really easy. Yep, that was very well done on John's side. Yeah, with half magic and cape, you're just gonna put that on and just slash. We're gonna see John finish up Vitreous. And Kwehstopher is going to go get his vanilla big key in Eastern. Realize there are no bows. You need to hope that he ends up going to Catfish to grab that ether medallion. Can also turn the mushroom in on the way, so probably where he's going to go next, hopefully where he goes next. Oh, I didn't count items in Meyer. It looks like John took a chance that the boss had the second item, and it was not there. So they are going to check the last couple of checks on the right side. I don't mind the play to check to make sure, or not to make sure, but I don't mind the play to check the boss first. If you can skip a couple of checks in Meyer, it's not the worst thing. Just didn't pan out in this case. I think Kwehstopher going back into the Dark World. Hopefully that means they're heading up to check Catfish. It looks like there is an item in cutscene chest. And I'm not too familiar with the way the key logic breaks down in Meyer. Rabbit Wombat in chat saying if there's a key on the boss, it's possible that cutscene has an item. I'm not sure. I don't know the full-on key logic, but oh, okay. So apparently you need all of the small keys for cutscene chest to be in logic. Okay, that's good. That's more key logic than I knew 10 seconds ago for Meyer. So thank you for that. Let me see. Kwehstopher looks like he is gonna get up to get his ether medallion off of Catfish, which will get him into Meyer to get his bow. Oh, and Meyer, oh wow, they had bow and flippers in Meyer, so that is go mode for Dr.Jon. It's a go mode, a 118, a 118.44. Thank you, Furious, in chat. So Meyer having both items being the last two items required. So now it is go mode time for Dr.Jon. Kwehstopher is going to grab his ether medallion, which will put him on the way to getting his last two items for go mode. So we see an ether pickup, and yeah, Jon knows he's in go mode. He's skipping chest and ice. Question in chat: has Dr. Jon beat Skull Woods? I don't think he's beaten Moth, but he's gotten both items. They were both in the. I think one was in the front, and one I think might have been in kind of that middle area, on the way to the back. I think that's where Half Magic was. But either way, they have both items. Seeing a Zora check here for Kwehstopher, as Jon nicely done with the icebreaker glitch. Jon should just pick up this key and go. Yep. Kwehstopher, yep, right to Misery Mire. He's going to find his 2 items. But I think it might be a little bit... It's going to be tough for him to catch up to Jon at this point. He's dungeon and a half behind. He can make up a little bit of time if he can route Mire for this seed, what would be the correct way, but it is going to be tough for him, I think, to come back. But we'll see. There's still plenty of race left. Pretty good cold stare fight on Jon's side with Tempered Sword. Got him stuck in the corner. And that is another crystal for Dr. Jon. That is his, I believe, 4th crystal. He just needs to go back, finish up Eastern and Pod, finish up Skull Woods, and then he is off to GT. Wester is going to be, I think, right behind him, at least a couple of minutes behind him at this point. Question in chat: would you do Skull Woods before Eastern and Pod? I don't know that it matters as long as you do Eastern and Pod together, because you're going to beat the dungeon and then flute to the next spot. I mean, I would probably do Eastern and Pod first just to get it out of the way, but I don't know that it necessarily matters if you're comfortable doing it the other way. Especially where Jon is basically, all he has to do is just rush the bosses of each of the last 3 dungeons, so probably doesn't matter. It looks like, at least for now, he's skipping that cutscene chest, which is going to hold his flippers, but he is going to go get that bow. Now, is Kwehstopher going to do cutscene chest? Doesn't look like it at this point. And I don't blame him for this. I would probably try to skip cutscene chest if I could. Question in chat: is Mire a bigger chance of an item in cutscene if the chest above is the key or big key? I could be way off on this. Again, my Mire key logic is not great, but I think if it's a small key in that chest above, I think the big key has to be in cutscene chest, but I could be wrong. Maybe one of the more experienced runners or somebody who knows a little more about the key logic than me can let us know. But it does look like Kwehstopher is going to go back to get cutscene chest, which, as we know, is going to be the right move. So he might save a little bit of time over the way Jon did it because he won't have to double dip. He's going to grab both items in one shot. All right, Lana Bean in chat saying small key above means you do cutscene every time. Okay, that might have been the one piece of Meyer cutscene knowledge that I knew. Yeah, and there is the flippers pickup for Questopher, so he is in go mode. As we see Dr. Jon finish up Helmasaur. More than likely mirror right to Eastern and take care of that dungeon as well. And I didn't see if Questopher set up for spooky action or not. Not sure if they know the glitch. Doesn't look like they are going for it. Wombat in chat saying Spooky was not set up. So either they didn't set it up or they don't know it. Potentially both, I guess. But either way, they're making their way through with no issues in the Meyer basement. As Dr. Jon is making his way through Eastern Palace, using the hook shot to good effect, zipping through the front part of this dungeon. And we're going to see Cape Strats on Questopher's side. What you want to do. Yep, this actually also works. You can dash. You can also, I think someone mentioned in chat, you just stand kind of in the middle and just slash your sword. And you will eventually hit all the eyeballs. Maybe get a couple of hits in on the big eyeball. And you won't drain your magic as much. Yeah, haiku in chat. I'm learning things too. I've definitely learned a lot from participating in this tournament. Not just key logic, but dash lines, routing in general, boss strats, like you name it. This is definitely something. If you're interested in learning this game, learning about this game, this is the place to do it. I mean, everybody that I've talked to, mentor wise, has been nothing but accommodating. So I highly recommend, if you want to learn more, definitely look for this tournament next year. Actually, you probably don't even have to wait until next year. I'm sure that most of the mentors definitely will be willing to help. Check out the Discord, which I think Umag is trying to put the link in the chat. All right, so we see Jon off to Woods. As Warken is off to Swamp Palace. So they're both in just full-on boss rush mode at this point. See Specky Clips set up here for Questopher. Got it, no problem. Yeah, Questopher right to the back. He knows he's in go mode. It looks like we might be setting up for some diver down action as Dr. Jon making his way to the back of Skull Woods. Yeah, diver down, no problem there. Checking chest, and he does find a gold sword. Oh, there's the link in the chat for the Go Mode Podcast Discord. Definitely want to give our runners a follow. The links just popped up in the chat. They've been putting on an excellent show for us tonight. Game 1 of a best of 3 series in the Master Sword bracket. Also give our tracker, Centroid41, give him a follow. He's currently in the Gold Sword bracket, round 2. I believe he's up 1-0. I could be wrong about that. Give Furious Prince a follow as our restreamer as well. An excellent quick kill by Kwehstopher on Argus. Got Dr. Jon finishing up his Mothula fight. Last hit right there. We've got Kwehstopher, I think, just has to finish Pod Eastern. Oh, Furious is in the Tempered Sword bracket. My apologies. I missed that. I only knew Centroid was in the Gold Sword bracket because he beat me in round 1. So apologies. Check out Furious Prince, Tempered Sword bracket. We have Warken over to Ice Palace. It looks like Dr. Jon going to finish up in Swamp, which will be his 7th crystal. Yep, that's right. Centroid, very close race. I think he's up against Zaxarai, who is another excellent runner. I was very excited about that matchup. 2 excellent runners going head to head. Should be fun. So we've got Kwehstopher setting up for Icebreaker on his side. Doesn't quite get it on the first try as Dr. Jon going to finish up his 7th crystal in Swamp Palace. All right, Kwehstopher is... He got Icebreaker. He's off to the back half of the dungeon. So we'll see if Dr. Jon does get his gold sword. That was in the back of Swamp Palace. So we see a Spec Eclipse setup for Dr. Jon. Gets it, no problem. Yeah. Jon's not checking chests. At least not in the front. I would check all 3 in the back on the way to the boss. Just in case you find either the gold sword or silvers. But we'll see. We've got a diver down setup coming for Dr. Jon. We'll see if he checks these 2 chests. Yeah, got his gold sword. Yeah, I would also check this next chest. It doesn't take too long. You can still get silvers. Looks like he is going to check. It's the map, so Christopher made the right call in not checking it. I would have been wrong. Oh, Christopher didn't have the big key, and he must not have hit the switch. Those spikes were still up. He mirrored out. He's gonna have to backtrack through the dungeon again. Dr.Jon looks like he's trying to set up for the quick kill on Argus as well. Doesn't quite get the timing. Argus goes down. Christopher is going to hit the switch this time, which negates the need for the big key to get down to the basement. We get to see a second icebreaker setup here on Christopher's side as Dr.Jon is heading up towards Ganon's tower. And I already see one guess in the chat, but we've got 22 spots that this big key can be in Ganon's tower. So throw a guess in chat. 1 to 22. Where do you think big key's going to be? I see a 7. I see a 10. I usually pick 6. We've got an 11. We've got an 18. Yeah, there's Icebreaker again on Christopher's side. Well done. Let's see, the second 18. Oh, nope. Second 18 was changed to a 3, 4. So we've got some options here. Good use of the mirror on Jon's side to delete those blocks in Super Bunny Cave. Yeah, Christopher getting down to the basement. About to drop into his cold stare fight as Dr.Jon is entering Ganon's tower. And he is a decent bit ahead. Christopher still has to finish up Pod and Eastern. Just the bosses, but it's still going to take a little bit of time to get through. And we see Dr.Jon going left. So item 1 on the torch, 20 rupees. We get 2 through 5 here. 2 is a small key. 3 is a small key. 4 and 5 red rupees. So 3, 4, and 5 were guessed. Fortunately, not winners tonight. See Christopher fluting off. That's 6 small key. 7 quake. So my 6 is out. There was a 7. That's out. See 8 through 11 here in, what is that, Compass Room? Coming up in a little bit as Christopher heads off to finish up Pod Eastern. I believe was number 9, if my math was right. Okay, so it was 5 on the left side, 2 in Hope Room for 7, and then the second chest he checked, so that was 9. And no winners. Furious, you were close. You picked 10. Depending on the order they checked the chest, you could have been right, but Jon is on the climb. Big key pickup for Questopher. He's going to go right back to Helmer Sword King. Good use of the cape there. The cannonball hallway from Dr. Jon. And they're going to start the gauntlet. The ether used on Jon's side. I like using ether in that room. That's might be my least favorite room in the entire game. Is that room with the 3 Stalfos. We see Jon heading down to the turtle room in TR Questopher down in the turtle room at TR as Jon is heading into his Landmola's 2 fight. Stopping to get his health refilled. Looks like he got 1 hit on each of the last 2. And Landmo 2 is down. Nicely done. Yeah, this is looking pretty good for Dr. Jon. Again, the 9 seed coming in. Questopher, the 1 seed, coming off a bye in this Master Sword bracket. Questopher just finishing up Pod. Going to mirror over to Eastern. Take care of that, and then he'll be on his way up to Ganon's Tower. Jon not checking. He's comfortable doing Master Sword Silverless by the looks of it. He's not looking for silvers by the looks of it. We check validation chest, just 20 rupees, but this run's validated. Whoop. Little bit of trouble getting through that last hallway there, but Jon got through it, no problem, and is now on to Aga 2, some agonometry. I think he's got 1 hit on each of the first 3 cycles. This one could be good. That looked like a triple to me. Nicely done. Dr. Jon off to Ganon. We've got Gold Sword. Half magic. I think at least a couple of blue potions. I think they filled their potions earlier in the seed. That does raise the question. Somebody just brought it up in chat. I was about to bring it up. Where do we think those silvers are? Given where they've checked, probably in GT if I had to guess. John, use your cape. Just use this blue potion. Should be done with the fire bats from here, though. John Kwehstopher finishing up his 7th crystal in Eastern Palace. He's off to GT. Yep, silver's in Ganon's tower. And we get the torch glitch on John's side. So we're 12 spins, now 11 spins away. 10 spins away. Is he going to set up for a triple? No. Yeah, the timing's tight, but there is a way to set up for triples with the torch glitch. But it is a little bit tight on the timing. Basically, you want to do what Dr.Jon did, but when he's at the bottom. So you can get a spin. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's a fall for John. I've been there. Get to Ganon, you take a fall, particularly on phase 4. I mean, he doesn't know that he's got basically a full GT's lead, but that is not a good feeling. Andy used his blue potion already. He cannot get a health refill. Use that cape. I think someone said in chat he does have a green potion, so that cape is definitely going to be his friend. We see Kwehstopher going left side. And the trick is for John, when he did get hit by those fire bats, the trick is you want to let go of any direction. If you let go, you'll take the damage, but you won't go flying off of Ganon and potentially take that fall. Oh, he did have another blue. Okay. Okay, I feel a little better for him now. I'll be honest, I have not counted spins, so I don't know how many more hits John needs on Ganon. See, that's the setup. That's the timing you want to try to get triples. Questopher going full left side, which is not great for him. As you know, Big Key is on the right, and that is it. Ganon is down. Get those GGs in chat for Dr. Jon, winner of Game 1 of this best of 3 series with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 5 seconds. GG's, Dr. Jon. So we'll see if Jon wants to come in for a post-race interview. In the meantime, we can watch Questopher finish up his GT. And given that he went full left side, the silvers are potentially in Compass Room or also potentially in Tile Room. Or back here. I guess we didn't see back here. Although it's not back here. So it is definitely possible that silvers are in...
What's up? Hold on.
Hello, Dr. Jon. GG's. Well done.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. GG's.
1 second.
Might have a little bit of technical difficulties here getting Jon in the race room. Or in the voice chat.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you,
I don't know why
Jon,
I'm having
yes.
trouble hearing you.
Yeah, we're trying to get Jon in here.
Say something again.
GG's, Jon.
Hey, thank you. I'm here. I can hear you now, finally. Thank you. I appreciate it. Had to throw in a Ganon fall just for spicy measure, but we got there.
Yeah, it was a little spicy.
I guess I still haven't perfected that. I think I take the suboptimal path and I just introduced the fire bonks unnecessarily, so we got to clean that up, but I'm happy to see it didn't cost me the race.
No, you had a decent sized lead. It really expanded when you got Ether from Catfish. That was, I think, it kind of widened your lead to a pretty substantial one. It was pretty close before that. You guys had followed a very similar path. You were just a little bit faster throughout it, but getting Ether from Catfish when you did, you were definitely first to it, and that got you into Meyer, which had your Go Mode package.
Yeah, going back into Meyer, it would have been unforgivable to leave the one item behind in Meyer, so I was just praying it was the flippers. I thought for sure I would be to the meat, because I mean we had Bombos, Fire Rod in Samaria, and Ice Rod. It was like, hey, go to Turtle Rock. There ended up being nothing on Trinex, but the mirror there was obviously critical. Was I not that much earlier than they were to the mirror?
You were. I'd have to check the timing, but I'd say minute and a half, 2 minutes earlier to it. It was. You guys, like I said, you guys followed a pretty similar path through the first 45, 50 minutes of the game.
Cool. I mean, it was pretty enjoyable to play. I felt like outside of leaving when I went to the eastern area for the first time, I completely forgot to turn in the pendant to Saha, which ended up not being super costly, but that was obviously a mistake. And then I had some trouble with the Hera big chest. I think I was just late to the action, and I just kept getting knocked down that pit, which was a kind of a learning experience as I was going through it. I think I just needed to be quicker to do it, but yeah, it was pretty fun, pretty generic seat. I thought it was fine. Hope it was enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I mean, you guys both put on a great show. It was a lot of good execution, some pretty good routing decisions. Speaking of going to Turtle Rock, I actually mentioned once you found the flute in, I think it was Super Bunny Cave, I might have left and gone directly to Misery Mire at that point and left Pendant TR alone, considering you had already been in 2 Pendant dungeons. But
yeah, I don't
you
know if
made
you
the
saw,
call to
I
go
kind of
in.
like sword swiped for about 2 seconds there, and that was me considering leaving because I found the flute, but I came up there with intent to go to Turtle Rock, and so that was just me kind of slowing down and realizing that I had committed to the Turtle Rock having a critical item play. I might as well see it through. I more considered leaving Turtle Rock once I found the mirror, but that would have I would have never gone back ever. It would have been the last location for anything behind the mirror, so I just committed to finishing it.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, once you commit to going in, particularly when you had everything to beat the dungeon, I think it makes a ton of sense to fully clear it. I think at that point you had checked pedestal, so I think you knew that it was just a not
Correct.
substantial amount of money.
Correct.
So you knew you didn't have to beat it for that, but I think it makes a ton of sense once you go in to, make that play and finish it off.
Well, whenever you find Ice Rod fairly early, you just give it kind of a side eye, like, what are you doing to me? Ice Rod and a Pendant TR seed. It ended up being not much today, but there was something in TR. It's just interesting to hear that I was not that much earlier than they were to the mirror. But had a pretty, I mean, we basically go moded, 4 dungeons? Or not, I guess only 3 or 2. I guess Ice and Swamp are the only ones that we go moded. I just had a lot to clean up at that point, but they were all just pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, you had already gone through, I think, Skullwoods, Eastern, and Pod, so it was really, like you said, just the Flippers Lock dungeons, Ice, and Swamp. But those are pretty quick to go mode, particularly with Icebreaker and Specky, so...
Yeah, very
pretty
fortunate
good
in hindsight to have found Ether and Catfish before I went to Mire, because, I mean, obviously the bow couldn't be in... unless I found Flippers first, then the bow was not going to be in the Flipper Lock dungeons, and so you're right, Mire had the Go Mode package since I went to Catfish first, so that was really, really, really comforting, because if the cutscene chest did not have Flippers, it would have been, well, where do I go? Obviously, I'm not going to find... I guess that wouldn't have been the end of the world, because at that point, I couldn't get into Ice or Swamp, so my only choices, I think, at that point were the last item on Helma or Armos. So I would have found them pretty soon. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something, and it's good of you to recognize that once you found that bow, you knew that Swamp and Ice couldn't have your last item, so... like you said, you were really down to only a handful of checks at that point. So going back into Mire, not only was it the right call, it turned out to be exactly what you needed to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're someone that puts Catfish off to your last location, then this was not the seed for you. Because you spent a lot of time going through... Of course, Swamp had a sword, and I have one of the 2 chests I opened in Swamp, of course, had a sword. It's so cliche, it's ridiculous.
Always a sword in Swamp, right?
But I picked the right chest to open. Silvers were in the tower. I'd be interested to see if Questopher gets the silvers. I'm hoping they were like on Bob's chest or something, and I didn't just stupidly leave them behind in the mini Helma room or whatever. But
I mean, we didn't see the only chests we didn't see in the basement were Isle Room and the top left chest in the Compass Room. And
right.
I don't recall if Questopher checked the mini Helma chest. I think he might have.
I'm pulling up his stream now.
Yeah, he just dropped into Ganon.
Cool.
But yeah, so he's... what were your thoughts when you took that fall to Ganon? Like, were you worried that you might have been behind, or...
Yeah, I mean, it's just always that uncomfortable feeling. I did think, going back to when I found the mirror, I did think that I had a lead for sure. And outside of the kind of like sloppy Hera and the multiple yeah, I mean, I guess the fall was the biggest mistake. I was a little worried, but I had a potion, so I went back into the fight with no extra anxiety. I just knew I had to execute the first time, so I did take the silverless fight at the end a little more carefully, but I thought I had a decent enough lead that it wouldn't cost me the race, but never know, right, until it's done. So I was I mean, it was not a full clear. It kind of would have. I mean, unless flippers, if flippers were your go mode, then I mean, I guess we left a lot of. We didn't leave too many chests unopened once we were in go mode, but yeah, it'd be interesting to hear Questopher break down the seed. Stupid catfish, but happy to go there when we did. And yeah, to answer your question, a little worried, but not super worried about that.
That's fair. I mean, I've been in that situation earlier in this tournament where I took a fall on Ganon, and my first thought was, well, that just cost me the race.
Might as well forfeit.
I don't know about that, but
I'm just kidding.
It's definitely an uncomfortable feeling, and it's nice to see that you didn't let that stop you and had a really solid second drop into Ganon. So
appreciate it.
Well
now,
done.
What would have been more interesting if I had no potion, I probably would have honestly just dove back into Ganon, because I stupidly took like a bunch of hits in the first time. I still do tempered strats even with the gold sword just to kind of be consistent. But just took a bunch of punishment and had to waste one of my safety potions, so I was grateful on the second drop in to at least have that safety.
Yes, I didn't know what you had for potions. And somebody in chat.
Yeah, let's focus on the Ganon fight.
Yep, I like that.
Yep.
So it looks like Questopher also took a fall on Ganon. He's about to drop back in for his second attempt.
All right, strong finish. Here we go.
And we see some dash strats here. Always cool.
I learned the hook shot strat, and so I never learned the boot strats, much to Sean's chagrin. But I can't hover, so I'm always going to have the hook shot. So I figured, why the hell? I'm just going to learn the hook shot strat.
That's fair. I mean, I also don't know how to hover, so not to say I'll never learn those dash strats, but particularly with the setup, hook shot, cape, I'm not too concerned, especially with gold sword.
Torch glitch coming up.
Yep, well done there.
It's nice having half magic with this spamming the lamp, because it feels like you can just empty the clip and it just barely touches your magic.
Oh, to get the torch glitch? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job on this this time through. A couple more spins, I think. Timing might have just been a little off, and there it is. There's the last hit. So get those GGs out for KwehstopherWarken. Finishing with an official race time.gg time of 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 48 seconds. GG's.
Indeed.
We'll see if he wants to come in for post-race interview. But as I said before, make sure you give these runners a follow if you haven't already. They've definitely earned the right to be here. Put on a heck of a show for us tonight.
I just just cut up on the messages. Sounds like you were running solo. Appreciate you, or mostly solo, I assume. Hope everything's okay with Krista, and appreciate you stepping up.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy comms. It's a little different doing it by myself, but Hopefully I didn't do anything too weird as we get KwehstopherWarken here in the chat. GG's.
GG's, brother.
GG. That seed was yeah. Yeah, we'll just go with yeah. We'll just go with
They
that.
said catfish was the difference, and I'll let them take it from there.
How so?
Yeah. I mean, you guys had pretty similar route through the first, I'd say, 45 minutes. Couple of minor differences, but it ended up that Jon ended up going to catfish a little bit sooner to get his ether medallion, which got him the go mode package in Meyer just a little bit quicker.
I figured it was my dumpster fire of execution. My execution was horrible, just horrible.
I don't know about that. A couple of missteps here and there, but overall, I think you played fairly well.
Like my routing and such I thought was really good. I just thought my execution was just horrible and not up to par. Oh, hi Zelda. That's my puppy. She's mad at me. So
just tell her you killed the pig.
I did kill the pig. I've been working from home all day, and she has not gotten the attention that she's used to. So I have to go and pay attention to her after this.
That sounds good. I mean, we got 48 hours, I guess. So we're going open randomized, I think, on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, for a nice switch, Ranger pace. Yeah.
Oh, let me make sure I have that on the schedule, because otherwise I will forget.
We can probably, we'll message about that to get it ironed out. But I appreciate Go Mode Podcast putting the restream on. Thanks to Furious Prince.
No. Oh, absolutely.
For
Thank
sure.
you so much.
And to Scanlar and Centroid for hopping on the crew.
Yeah, you guys made this a lot of fun, at least for me. I won't speak for everybody, but hopefully I can speak for everybody. This was a good race. Like I said, it's fairly close to the first, decent portion of it. So,
yeah, I just thought or go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to ask if you guys had any other thoughts on the seed, on, anything really.
I just want to say thank you for putting the tournament on in general. Thank you for restreaming us, all that kind of good stuff. Thank you to the crew for stepping in, and GG's to Dr. Jon.
Yes, sir. We'll talk in either later tonight or tomorrow, and we'll get something squared away. And until the next time, we appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, so I think that's going to do it for us here. It sounded like their game 2 scheduled for Thursday. I'm not sure of the time. I would imagine probably similar start time to tonight. Kind of 9, 10 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah, that was fun. I think Questor was a little hard on himself, personally. I thought he did fine. Like I said, a couple of things here and there, but overall, I think he did fairly well. Jon did pretty well. Looking forward to their game 2 in a couple nights. Sounded like it was going to be open mode, so not quite the fast-paced start from the casual boot seed tonight, but should be a good one. So definitely want to check that out. Again, give these guys a follow if you haven't already. They put on a heck of a show for us tonight. And yeah, I think that'll do it for us, unless anybody else has anything they want to say about this seed. But if not, I think we can sign off. Again, thank you to Furious Prince for the restream. Thank you to GoMod Podcast for putting it on. Thank you to Centroid for clicking the buttons for us tonight as our tracker. I'm Scanlar, and I will see you all next time. Keep an eye out. You can see, I think, the link to the schedule. Get that in the chat shortly.